Here in Ontario, we work in a very tightly regulated environment. Traceability, premise registry are all tools that enable us to do a better job of producing safe food in an efficient manner.
Today, more and more of all of our customers from retail food service are demanding traceability. It's part of their food safety protocol, and it's important to all of us that work here.
A centralized registry that standardizes the whole traceability recall process would be very helpful. It will get everybody on the same page. There's no confusion.
Here on our farm, we're in the business of swine, and traceability is, in its simplest form, the ability to monitor movement of pigs one step forward and one step backwards. We use traceability in our business to monitor livestock production for foreign animal disease, and in the future it is a great tool in terms of being able to build food safety programs and to continue to gain market share for Canadian pork production around the world.
When OnTrace began in 2006, their first order of business was to develop and build the Ontario Agri-food Premises Registry, the first of its kind in Canada.
OnTrace is a not-for-profit, industry-led organization, quite unique in Canada. We were established late in 2006, and our job was to build and operate the premises registry for the province of Ontario.
Premise registry here in Ontario is based on the Municipal Property Assessment Corporation identifiers that allow our agricultural industry to be at the forefront of traceability by having validated premise registry. Traceability in the swine business is used for many different applications. We use it primarily at this point in time for foreign animal disease and in our CQA HACCP-based food safety program.
Traceability isn't new. It is commonplace in many other industries. Tracking a courier package to help you locate its path along the route is a good example of traceability.
The premises registry system that OnTrace has developed is quite unique. We have a map of Ontario with all of the premises that are identified as agriculture. And each one of these areas on the map here that you can see in blue and orange actually indicates a farm. If we zoom in on that, we can actually see the kind of activity that's taking place on that location, as well as obviously we can physically map this information, print that out, provide information to emergency responders or to industry or government officials who need the information to help out.
In Canada and the US, traceability is still voluntary. In the European Union and other countries, traceability is government mandated and the law. The reality is that agriculture is one of the last industries to embrace traceability.
Hillside's Garden's been around for about 50 years, and we produce carrots and onions as our main crops, and about 360 acres of carrots, about 200 acres of onions, and also some beets and parsnips. As far as processing goes, we process almost all of the product that we grow and market at our location in Bradford. All of the product that gets shipped out of Hillside Gardens is fully traceable. When the product comes in from the field, what we do is we attach a barcode to it that contains all the records to do with the farm. So by using that barcode, the product that has been shipped to the consumer can be traced right back to the field.
The registry provides this first link in the supply chain of knowing where the originating premises are of food products for emergency management and traceability purposes.
OnTrace has had two goals and objectives since its inception. One has been to help industry and government prepare for and respond to emergencies that involve agriculture and food. And the second one, which sometimes competes with the first one, is to help industry become more innovative and competitive by using traceability.
In Grey Bruce County, Bruce Saunders knows the benefits of traceability. The dairy industry in Ontario has been practicing it for years.
Well, you're on Spruce Lane Farms. It's family-owned, 2 brothers and 2 nephews who are joining the operation. 175 cows, and you're standing in the feed alley of a drive-through 6-row dairy barn. The dairy industry's been doing traceability virtually for the last 40 years. Every tank load of milk that leaves this farm, there's a sample taken with the load, and if there's a problem with the load at the plant, farmers on that load are tested to see who's the farm that's caused the problem. We're very concerned about the impression that dairy has with the consumer. So if you hear dairy talking about food safety and what we're doing to safeguard milk, we're concerned at the consumer level about the image of our product. The RFID tags that we use probably have a couple of values. One is for the tracing of that animal as it moves throughout the countryside in the future, when the premise ID is fully functional. And the other option is we actually have equipment now that I use the RFID for actually feeding or tracing that animal on our own farm and seeing how much feed she does eat or should eat. Traceability, probably from an emergency response, is the key point for a dairy farmer at this time, should there ever be an outbreak of a serious disease, foreign animal disease. If I was a commodity grower, I see traceability as being very functional from the actual tracing of my commodity through into the marketplace and being very beneficial to the proprietors to take part in that.
At the end of the food chain, just before it gets to the consumer, is the retailer. Whether they are a major food chain, the corner produce shop, or your local supermarket, food retailers are just as concerned about the quality of the food they sell and where it comes from.
I operate a grocery store in Chesley, Ontario, which is in Bruce County, which is the beef capital of Ontario. We support local beef, local pork, and local poultry, as well as much local produce as we possibly can. We can trace the majority of our products back to the source. For example, our egg producer provides us with total traceability on our eggs. You can actually look at the actual egg, key it into a website, and you can actually see the farm that egg was grown on and produced by. So that is one advantage that we have against some of our competitors.
OnTrace is Ontario's go-to organization for traceability solutions and plays a critical role in raising the profile of traceability. They are central in delivering traceability solutions in Ontario and beyond. Through their premises registration services, any producer or processor can register free of charge directly with OnTrace. OnTrace is on the leading edge of traceability management, and their experts are there to help the agri-industry get the most out of traceability.
Education is a significant component of the OnTrace service offering. From the very beginning, OnTrace recognized that training and education around traceability was going to be important both for buy-in purposes as well as to help in the practical implementation of traceability on farms and in processing plants. So at regular intervals throughout the year, OnTrace provides training workshops and seminars to the community that's involved in agriculture and agri-food. It's been really gratifying to see the change in the stakeholder community's reaction to OnTrace. Certainly in the very beginning there was a certain amount of skepticism, shall we say. Now it's very gratifying to see the tremendous support that we get from producers as well as from processors for the products and services that we provide to them.
One of the leaders in traceability and automated food production is Algoma Orchards. The Gibson and Kemp families have been growing apples in the Durham region of Ontario since the 1800s. Kirk Kemp believes traceability is the answer to his business success.
Traceability plays a very important role in Algoma's business. We feel it's very important for us to ensure all our customers, including retailer and the end consumer, that our food is very safe and they can trust the product that we grow in Ontario. Traceability for Algoma Orchards starts right back in the field. We have identification stickers that go on every single bin that comes into our storage facility. We also track it from the storage into the pre-size that's in behind me. So when we pack that on the pack line, everything is recorded. So if for some reason there was a recall on the product, 3 weeks from now, we could go back into our archives and check exactly which farm that came from so we could identify it. Algoma Orchards plans on registering our premises so that we can join all Ontario farmers with ensuring our customers that we have a safe and traceable product.
Algoma's Tom Coleman loves the apple business and loves what traceability has done for it.
Well, we're standing in our newest acreage, and today we produce over 1 million boxes of fresh apples that traditionally go to the retail food service and juice markets across Canada. Well, we manage under SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. So we have SOPs for everything from growing, harvesting, receiving, shipping, packing, and that way everybody in the plant is aware of the procedures and monitors and follows them. Traceability is fundamental in the juice side. We have our own quality assurance QC lab. We have 2 people there that are responsible for full traceability. And if you want to look at SOPs on the juice side are even more important, simply because you're dealing with pasteurized fruit and you've got bacteria and patulent, and so they're mandatory. Otherwise, we would never be able to secure that type of business. We label everything from the growing side, the harvesting side, to the pre-sized line, to the put away, to actually the packed goods. So we have labels, full traceability from basically farm to fork, which is traceability to the retail end.
I think that the consumer is absolutely central to the acceptance of and use of traceability in the future. And I would foresee in the next 5 to 10 years that traceability would become much more common as consumers reach out and try to understand the source of where their food came from and how it's been treated and handled through the process of getting it to their dinner table.
I think traceability is as important as any other ingredient on an ingredient list, because it's one more thing that allows the consumer to know with confidence that the food that they're buying is safe, it's something that they want to eat.
Traceability will definitely be at the forefront in the future as consumers become more aware of traceability. So no different than food safety, it becomes a very, very predominant choice for customers when they choose where they shop.
Traceability is definitely here to stay. It is a great tool to position Ontario and Ontario agriculture at the forefront of traceability and food safety systems across the country.